After 26 days, 15-something tribals, and more twists and turns than we would like, D is the winner of Survivor 45. The season delivered entertaining blindside, but also offered 2 quitters and a soft begonging. It's time for one last look back at the season and one final power ranking. Who was the worst of the worst and who was the cream of the crop? Let me know how your ranking would look like in the comments. Let's get into it. It should surprise nobody that the quitters are all the way at the bottom. The only reason why I put Sean below Hannah is because his quit made no sense. He said he got everything he needed out of Survivor and wanted to go home to his husband. Unless he got special treatment, he went to Loser's Lodge with the other pre-merge boots. Only a shame he took someone else's spot on this cast. I'll give Hannah a little bit more of a pause, but not a lot. At least she was honest about the reason why she quit. She didn't like surviving and she just wanted to go home. I could appreciate the honesty. Hannah was my preseason winner pick, by the way. Oh boy, was I wrong on that one. Brandon had a lot of heart, but lacked socially, strategically, and definitely physically. Being on the disaster tribe that was Lulu didn't help either. That being said, he's probably always a pre-merge boot, no matter what tribe. He lasted as long as he did by the sheer grace of the strength of Reba. They rarely went to tribal, and the few times they did, Sifu was the main target. He was on the bottom of Reba from the start. When it was time for Sifu to go, he didn't put up much of a fight either. Was Bruce a main character of Survivor 45? Sure. Is Bruce an actual good player? Not really. Bruce was fun to watch, but also obnoxious to his tribe mates. Good for us, but bad for Bruce. His closest ally Kelly disavowed him, and Couture had a season-long feud with him. It's a shame because Bello could have fared better with Bruce as a shield. Bruce might not be the sole reason for Bello's collapse, but probably the biggest. Oh, and yeah, I called it when Bruce would leave with an idol in his pocket. At least I got that one right. It hurts my heart to put Jake this low. Like many of us, Jake has grown on me. He got beat down time after time, but always got up and tried again. Jake definitely had the spirit, but nothing else. Jake had 26 days to make one successful move, but never managed to pull it off. He won the fire-making challenge, which was a personal victory for Jake. I'm happy for him, but I can't really count that as a successful move. By that time, his chances to win were below 0. I loved watching Jake, but as a player, he was below par.
Whoa! Sorry, whoa.
Sabaya ran before she started walking and tripped because of it. Her mind was already in the merge, not seeing what was happening around her. She also got unlucky with the Hannah quit. Sabaya strikes me as someone who would learn from her mistake and would do better on a second run, unlike others lower on this ranking. J Maya was on the outs at Reba the entire time, but never really realized it. It's tough making a comeback when you're on the outs early. You have to hope others see a usage for you. J Maya willingly took the blame for the botched Sifu vote. She hoped it earned her loyalty, but in the end, it only got her voted out at the Mergatory Tribal. Kendra was at the core of the Bello tribe, but she just went down with the ship. Granted, she did recognize D as a threat early on, but she lacked the skill to do anything about it. Kendra didn't play bad, she didn't play good either. Kendra was just middle of the road all the way, and it reflects in her ranking. Maybe a surprise to some, but Brando didn't do much wrong in the short time he was on the season. He aligned with Kelly, which would have been a great long-term ally for him. He got swap fruit. Even with his back against the wall, he made Emily second-guess Drew's loyalty. Brando might just have been the missing link that could have saved Bello at the merge. We'll never know. Katura had one of the strongest stories of the season, but her game was not nearly as strong. Granted, she was at the bottom of Bello and also mostly at the bottom throughout the merge. It's not easy climbing your way up from the bottom, but Katura was way too passive overall. Playing passively only gets you to the end, but to win you actually have to pull off a move. Katura never did that. Austin's arsenal of advantages sugarcoated a lot of his actual game. He was part of the Reba 4, had multiple advantages, and a ride or die in Drew. Take that away and there's not a lot there to fall back on. He lost or didn't ask back his idol from Julie. He told D about the Julie plan. He didn't use his idol to save Drew, and he was too loyal to D. If you list all of this, it's a miracle he finished second because the result does not mirror the game he played. Caleb was a walking winner threat from the start. If you're that likable, physically strong, and strategically capable, people are gonna notice, especially this new era Survivor. The Sabaya vote and his inclusions into Bello after the swap are proof of that. To no one's surprise, Caleb got immediately targeted in the merge. A wasted opportunity for Bello, as just like Bruce, Caleb could have been a great shield. Despite his early exit, I still think Caleb did a great job considering his threat level. I just think that players like Caleb will have a very difficult time winning in the new era. He did make for an epic moment when he landed his shot in the dark. At least he has that.
Caleb, you are. No! Safe.
Julie showed that age doesn't have to be a downside. She was a powerhouse during the challenges and wasn't afraid to take a big swing. Her biggest move was getting and keeping Austin's idol, even though we didn't really see how it happened. Her biggest flaw was her loyalty to D. At no point she was willing to flip on D. If she could learn that cutthroatness, she could go all the way on a second try. Emily showed that adaptability is key in Survivor. If you can't stand in front of a mirror and recognize where you went wrong, you'll lose this game. Emily got a second chance in the game and grabbed it with both hands. Where she went wrong, however, was her loyalty to Reba. She waited a bit too long to make a move against Reba. When she tried, she was surrounded by people who were unable to work together. Just like Drew, she got screwed by Austin, but she was too dependent on Reba to be able to pivot at that point. Drew and his confidence was an acquired taste for many. He formed Reba 4 as he understood the power of a strong alliance early on. Drew was atypical in the sense that he gained people's loyalty by being honest about the knowledge he had. Drew seemed like the true leader of the Reba 4. All the more painful that it was his closest ally's puppy dog love that would lead to his downfall. Drew could have predicted Austin would tell D. Equally, he should have pushed harder for Austin's idol at the final 6. That confidence that brought him that far also made him blind to D's threats and Austin's misplay in the end. Similar like Caleb, Kelly is a triple threat, and I don't think she did much wrong. She insulated herself very well. The problem was that she insulated herself in the Bello tribe. Bello was so messy and dysfunctional that even though Kelly made herself a nice structure, the structure wasn't strong enough to protect her when Reba targeted her. It's difficult to fault Kelly for Bruce's antics, the Bruce-Couture rivalry, or for Jake's messy gameplay. She could have jumped the Bello ship sooner, but where does she go? Despite being blindsided, I'm still very bullish on Kelly as a player. Kelly's a potential winner in any season she's in. She just needs to find a way to hide it. In the new era of Survivor, there have been few winners that were unanimously agreed on to be the best player of the season. The best player usually gets sniped right before the end, making people wonder if players can still win this game in a dominating way. D has proved those doubters wrong. D is to me the best winner of the new era so far. She was in a controlling position the entire game and was never in real danger despite her name being thrown around. Pre-merge, she showed some impulsiveness, but in the end, she made the right decisions at the right time. Pre-season, she was presented as the umpteenth Parvati wannabe. Her ruthlessness, strength in challenges, and her showmance shows that she is the closest resemblance to Parvati in the new era. And I, for one, am happy that she is the winner of Survivor 45.
The winner of Survivor 45, D.
With that, we're putting a bow on Survivor 45, a season that was, despite the quits at the beginning, one of the best seasons of the new era of Survivor. Some familiar aspects came back to great success, like a pre-merge swap and the auction. I still believe the first few merged tribals need work, as they don't feel like proper merge. At the end of February, Survivor is back with season 46. We'll be there, we'll be watching, and we'll be ranking. Until next time.